Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. I'm not going to be on here too long. This is just a fast blast, just to help out a very prolific and inspirational person, and quite possibly prevent this person from being murdered. Okay? I'm just not going to be on here very long. This is just, I'm asking everyone to reach out and to help this person, especially if you know the last name, because I don't know the full last name. I found out yesterday that Ramola D, because of some treacherous neighbor, and the neighbor was probably paid off by the government, and and told to do this, because this is happening. People, you have to be aware that this is happening. you know what I'm about to talk about is a topic that people think that is not going on, but you have to understand there's a lot more to your federal funding for terrorism. And because there's only but so much so-called terrorists in the world, what they're doing is they're paying off lazy ass citizens who don't want to work under Infra-god to label law abiding people as terrorists and literally terrorize them. And before I was about to make this video, I go to the place where I usually sit quietly in contemplation and do my meditation, my spiritual meditation for the day. And where that place is, there's about 15 to 20 park benches, right? And I was about to make this video about 15 to 20 park benches, and a group of four young Caucasian, I mean, they look young. They look like if they're in their 20s, like college students. About four young Caucasian college students. Out of 20 benches, they left all the other benches to sit right next to me. And this is not a color thing, because they're using, people are being paid off from every skin color to do this. You need to be aware of these things, because the America is not the America of today. It really isn't. And the freedom you thought you had is not the freedom you have today. Hi, Malik, welcome. As you come and leave a comment, the freedom you thought you had is not the freedom you have today. So you need to be patently, you need to be extremely aware of these things and these groups, these individuals and these groups. Whoa, welcome. Carl, welcome. Carrie, welcome. Sorry. Okay. So I am like literally sitting here waiting to upload and put up this video about the news about Ramola. And I'm going to talk about that shortly. Literally, there are like 20 park benches, all of which are empty, all of which are empty. And a group of young, they look like they're in their 20s, come and they sit right next to me. And immediately I looked at them and I said, no. Mm-mm. I got up and I said, let me move all the way down there. Once I got up and moved in unison, they all turned and was walking towards me as I moved down, as I moved away from them. Really, really. And you see, to the unthinking person, they'll just think, okay, that's a coincidence. No, people, there are many people who are paid by your city councils, by your local administrators, by your government. And the program is called Infra-god. Okay? And this program is throughout the United States. And they are paid to target certain people. And what happened to Ramola is what they tried to do to me at Doral Health, so-called Health and Wellness Center. And I did a U-turn and I walked out of there. Okay? Now, what happened to Ramola, gang stalking, welcome, HH, welcome. A neighbor of hers this is what's being said. Some say it's her husband, some say it's a neighbor. Now, before I go into that, Ramola is a well educated, highly educated, published writer. Okay? Very soft spoken, very conservative in her beliefs, not radical, any sort of radical thinking, but very scientific in her beliefs and the way she explains these types of infra-god programs. Okay, Azania, welcome. Okay, Ronald, what do you mean by that comment? Okay, so I'm hearing it's her husband, and she's had problems with her husband since she was put into these programs. And these programs are real. The latest of which, US government diplomats were put into these weapons programs and they were hit with these weapons. They called it the Havana syndrome. The Havana syndrome was proven by some doctors out of Florida to be weapons. The US government secretly paid off these officials who were targeted with these weapons, but left the public who's been complaining about these assaults since the bioethics committee established by former President Obama in 2012. They've left the public high and dry without any support. Okay? So, therefore, these programs are not a figment of someone's imagination. 60 Minutes published a documentary on the government officials who sustained these weapons assaults. And the US government is also compensating them. So if we have doctors hired by the US government to see if this is true, a so called mainstream, authentic news station reporting about this incident, high level US government officials being targeted by these weapons, and then the US government paying for their medical bills and giving them compensation. Why was Ramola kidnapped out of her house and taken to a psychiatric facility in Massachusetts? And the psychiatric facility is called Carney Hospital in Massachusetts, the Psych ward. 617-296-4000 is the number. Anyone who cares about freedom, anyone who cares about the right not to be assaulted with military grade weaponry should call the hospital, Carney Hospital in Massachusetts, the psych ward, and ask to speak to Ramola to make sure she's okay. The number to the hospital is 617-296-4000. Again, the number is 617-296-4000. The hospital is Carney Hospital. Because we know that there are reports of people stating emphatically that their healthy family members went into these hospitals and never made it out. Okay? Okay. Gang stalking simulation said she's been discharged. Thank you. Because I got the word yesterday and I called the hospital today, but then I realized I didn't have her last name. So I'll double check on that. So, guys, now that she's been out, I didn't know. I got the message yesterday. So between yesterday and today, she's out. But the point of the matter is this, and I will double check to make sure that's true. Here is what's wrong with this situation. Okay. A neighbor made a phone call. This is what I'm being told. A neighbor made a phone call to have someone put sectioned. Then I heard it was her husband. I don't know. The point of the matter is this: these programs are real. People are being targeted. And Ronald, let me make something very clear. I am not being paranoid because I am not a paranoid person. And if that was directed at me, I don't appreciate that at all. Number two, okay, you think she did 6 days. Okay, but even that is wrong. Okay, because these weapons assaults are real. And these weapons assaults were confirmed by the highest levels of the US government. The only thing they did not confirm was who did it. And these weapons assaults were also aimed at US government officials. Most of you don't know that these weapons assaults really started happening to me when I went to work at the UN. That's what most of you don't know. Okay? And I find it ironic that top level US diplomats and top level US government officials were targeted with these weapons. And I, who worked at the UN, that's when I started getting targeted with these weapons. I mean, full blown targeting with the weapons. And I didn't know what they were at first. Rana, because I don't appreciate your comment. Look at the comment you made. Look at the comment you made, Ronald. I don't want to be on here yelling at you. You come into the chat. I'm talking about a woman being 50 sectioned out of her house and taken to a mental institution. I told you about what just happened to me, and your first comment, look at the quality of your comment, Ronald, and you do this all the time. I don't appreciate it, and I surely don't appreciate it today. Look at your comment, Ronald. Maybe there's a bit of paranoia. I asked you, I said, Ronald, can you explain that comment? Every single time I do a live, you come in, you disrupt the live, you change the topic, you draw people away from the topic, you cause confusion. This is the last time, okay? And I'm being very serious. This is the last time. The last time you came in, you did the same thing. Today, I'm talking about a serious issue about someone being taken out of their house and sectioned, and you post a comment, maybe there's a bit of paranoia. How are you trying to help when I'm talking about a sensitive issue? I am speaking about a sensitive issue with someone being sectioned. And you come in and you talk about paranoia. How is that being sensitive, Ronald? Problem solved. Timed out for 5 minutes. Do it again. You're blocked. Let's continue. I'm not going to put up with this. And I'm not going to entertain, matter of fact, I'm not going to entertain foolishness. This is a serious issue, and I'm not going to entertain nonsense. Let me continue. Okay? So let's focus here. Let's focus here. Okay? So now most people don't know that the weapons, the heavy weapons assault that I endured was when I started working at the UN. Okay? Those weapons assaults were so bad that in the middle of winter, did not have to wear a winter coat because I was so hot and I didn't know what it was. And I would be outside, it would be sub-degree temperature, and I would be sweating through my clothes, only to learn later it was directed energy weapons. And this has been proven that diplomats and US government officials were subjected to the exact same weapons assaults. So no one can come, no one, no medical professional can say, because I don't know and I never heard of this, it doesn't exist. Then if Ramola is crazy, then the US government is crazy. If Ramola is crazy, then the medical professionals who examined the US diplomats are crazy as well. If Ramola is crazy, then your high level, because one of the highest level US government officials concluded that it was a weapons assault, a weapons assault. Okay? Then they're crazy too. And those who paid off the diplomats because they were paid, they were compensated for the damages, which is the US government, they're crazy too. No, they're not crazy. These weapons assaults are real and they are being used against civilian populations. Okay? So I'm glad to hear that she's out. I'm going to send an email to make sure she's okay. I do not agree with this unless someone is acting violently, which Ramola, I guarantee Ramola was probably not acting violently. Okay? So, people, things are changing very quickly in the United States. I want people to wake up and realize I was never afforded any civil rights in the United States, ever. Let me make that clear. I was never afforded any civil rights in the United States. In fact, at every turn, my civil rights was denied. At every turn. And I'm talking about since I was a teenager. Okay? And people are now waking up to how out of control certain parts of their government is. Is everyone following what I'm saying? People, this is not a color issue. Not because those people who were next to me that were sent, because they were white, it means that it's a color issue. Because Doral Health and Wellness Facility on Pitkin Avenue in Brooklyn, the people I dealt with, the people who were trying to set me up, medical professionals, the majority of which were black. Is everyone following? And they still, under medical law, they're supposed to give me my medical records. To this day, they have not written a medical report. Have you ever heard of a person going to get a medical exam done with no written medical report? No medical report. And they never sent me the imaging of the ultrasound. This is not about skin color. And I keep trying to tell people, do not let anyone steer you into a skin color battle. Now, some would argue that if it's not about skin color, why did you post the crime statistics? The reason why I posted the crime statistics is because people are lying about the crime statistics. So I had to post the actual crime statistics. Okay? That's the only reason why, not to perpetuate skin color, because I don't play skin color games. Now, I understand there are people who hate other people for their skin color. I'm not one of them. And I intend to remain neutral. People are either good or they're bad because of their character or because of manipulation. Okay? Not because of their inherent skin color. Now, I need everyone, and I'm almost done. I need everyone to be cognizant, be aware that civil rights, and let me just backpedal here on civil rights for a second, because a lot of these people who are pushing the same color coded issues, okay, the color agenda at the top, think that certain people are afforded more civil rights because of their color. And I'm like, what planet do you live on? Yes, it was predominantly black people who fought for civil rights, but when they won civil rights was given to the American population. It wasn't given just for black people. Okay? Civil rights was won because of black people. But when the US government agreed about the civil rights issue was afforded to everyone. This is why a Caucasian person can sue for violation of their civil rights. Absolutely. Okay? So just be aware that the agenda is still going forward. And people, you must be aware this is not a left right issue. The reason why it's not a left right issue is because they said when the United States citizens are waking up to the Democrats pushing them into the New World Order, they're going to use a Republican to push them into the New World Order. What does that mean? Republican or Democrat, the agenda is going forward. Kay Wright, welcome. Woke, welcome. Insightful, welcome. Snowflake, welcome. Gang Stalking, welcome. Tony, welcome. I think I said hi to everyone. Okay? Are you understanding? So be aware. Do not let anyone pull you into the left right paradigm, black white paradigm. Do not do it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, okay? Let's look at January 6th, where, people are being held without due process as political prisoners. The majority of people who set them up were not black people. Matter of fact, there were no black people who set them up, okay? And now they're at the bottom of a prison being tortured right here in the United States, okay? Let's look at Black Lives Matter. How many people How many people followed through with all the missing black people who came out to protest? When I warned black people, I said, stay home. They're going to draw you out into the street, and many of you are going to go missing. Do you know there are thousands of young people unaccounted for that was protesting with Black Lives Matter, never to be seen again? Does anyone remember me warning and saying that? Okay, there were thousands of missing black people, never to be seen again, who went out protesting the Black Lives Matter people. They will tell you left is bad, right is good. And then when the right gets in, the same thing continues. Carrie, I agree. Me personally, and this is my personal opinion, which I am entitled to, I agree. And I'm going to say this, okay? The chemtrails will continue, okay? The poisoning continues. The fluoridation, no matter who you vote into office, the fluoridation continues. The chemtrailing continues. The jobbing continues. Your rights are still being taken. Your free speech is still being taken. The soil is not getting healthier. The water is not getting cleaner. The food is not getting healthier. Your medicine is not getting better. Okay? So, anyone trying to draw you into any paradigm that is pro one group as the victim and pro the other group as the savior is just dividing you to be destroyed. Going forward, the best the best thing to do is to judge people according to their behavior and according to their consistent behavior. What do they do consistently? What do they do when they think no one is looking? Are they evil when they think no one is looking? Are they good when they think no one is looking? That is who, that is what you need to do. Do not side with people because of something as simple as their skin color. I mean, I don't have to say this, but I have to say it. Okay? For your own safety, do not side with people. The other thing, too, is if you're not planning and preparing, you have an issue. So make sure you're working on getting skills that you need. Make sure that you're orating to be in the right location where you need to be in. Okay? Don't just prep and plan. Make sure you ask the creator, where is the best place I should be in? And try to find where that place is and go there. These are the things that you need to be doing, not focused on stupid skin color that's not going to help you one way or the other. And those at the top have one agenda and one agenda only. Carrie, well said. Okay? Those at the top have one agenda, and that agenda is destroy, 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 destroy. And all those at the bottom, they're concerned with is you're white, you're black, I hate you. You're left, you're right, I hate you. You're Muslim, you're Christian, I hate you. You're Baptist, you're Pentecost, I hate you. People, it's too late in the game for stupid thinking. Okay? Last and finally, the training, group training is on Thursday at 12 and Friday at 10 in the night. Thursday at 12 noon, the 28th, Friday at 10 night. This week is a 50% discount. Okay? So the training will be $25 this for this month. Okay? So I hope that everyone will all be there. Carrie, that is exactly what's going on. Okay? That is exactly what's going on. And let me tell you what I'm feeling. I am feeling that one day, within a couple months from now, quite possibly a year or so, if people are not in the right state that they need to be in, they're going to wake up one day, just like they woke up one day and they were in communist Russia. Cave Crusher, welcome. Okay? People are literally going to wake up one day and they're going to wake up to the harsh realization, what the hell is this? That's how it's going to happen. And that is no more than a year or two away from now. That is why I'm saying make friends with the right people now. You see what happened to me when I went to that hospital? That hospital, the people who were helping me were my skin color. If I tell you what they were plotting, you wouldn't believe me. And I did nothing to those people. Nothing. Okay? Carry good. But be keenly aware, not because people have the same skin as you. That means they have the same spirit as you. Find your spiritual tribe. Okay? And I hope to see everyone next Thursday or Friday for the group training. Do not miss this training because this is what you're going to need for the future. You're going to need to understand all these vectors. You meant Fort Bragg, Cave Crusher Fort Bragg. PDR, the man in the high tower. Fort Briggs. Okay. I thought they sent Fort Braggs off to Ukraine, but I don't want to talk about that keyword here because of the AI. You mentioned that word, the AI goes crazy. That country, the AI goes crazy. So, okay. So on a serious note, people, on a serious note, please, less time with all these divisive. I agree, Cape Cross. It's literally everyone. People, less with the divisive things, less with the skin color divide and the religious divide. Find your spiritual tribe. People of like mind, with like spirit, that have skills. Lastly, next Thursday, next Friday, be there for the training. We're looking at multiple vector assaults. Multiple vector assaults. These are all the vectors with which the human body is being assaulted. And it's a huge discount. It's $25. So you have no reason to miss it. Okay? So, guys, please begin to find your tribe. Find your tribe of people and don't be surprised if they don't look like you. Don't be surprised if they don't have the same background as you, but they have the same spirit. Okay, Nyasha, thank you. Guys, I hope you have a great, wonderful afternoon. Take time to love each other, love yourself, be at peace, take a walk in a park, spend some time in nature, find peace in your spirit, peace in your mind, peace in your heart, gain new skills. Nyasha, thank you. Please work on gaining skills. Do a scenario. If the grid goes down, what skills do I need? You know, I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm going to tell you guys this. Thank you, Insightful. I'm going to tell you guys this before I go. And this is why it's important to take these group training classes. I'm going to tell you this. In 2015, I went to Trinidad, right? My country of birth. And in Trinidad, there are two things that the government does that I really, really like. Okay. One of those things is that education is free all the way up to university. Okay. Because comes out of the it comes out of the budget, the government budget, so your taxes and stuff like that. So they take some of the tax money and some of the government revenue and they put it towards education. Okay, it's part of the government revenue. It's not socialism. It's like, okay, we have XYZ allocated to education, which is what governments do. They allocate XYZ towards education and they say, okay, why should people be spending money on tertiary education? So education in the country is free, right? The second thing that they do that I really like is that if a person is poor and they don't have education, what they do is instead of paying them money, they say, okay, look, we're going to pay you bi-weekly, and your job is to make sure the country's clean. Okay, I'm just telling you these are two government policies I like. I'm not telling you anything about socialism, okay, or communism. So obviously the country needs to be cleaned, right? So what they do is they get people. I mean, this is not the sanitation. They work with sanitation. Okay, so on the days that sanitation is not going around picking up, trash or whatever, the government would pay people if they have low education or little skills. They will pay them to keep the country clean. So these are just two things I like. Let me tell you a quick story. So when I was there, I said, okay, because it's a country where it's not like service oriented like the United States or information oriented like the United States. I said, you know what? It's still a hands-on type economy, right? So it's a skills based economy for the most part, right? So I said to myself, I had a whole swath of classes I could take, right? And I said, you know what? Let me get some skills. My spirit said to me, Rain, go take the electrical course. Like I could take plumbing, I could take electrical engineering, I could take like when I got certified, I would be able to retrofit an entire house with electricity, right? I could learn construction, all these things, right? Or I could just do office work like administration. My spirit said to me, Rain, take that electrical course. Take that electrical course. And it was a small classroom of like 10 students. And I already knew there were two women students in there. My spirit kept telling me, Rain, take the electrical course. Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. I said to myself, I said, you know what? Do I really want to be working around a bunch of men, you know, inside of a house, wiring a house? I was like, nah. Okay. Fast forward to 2022. Do you know I kicked myself every single day that I did not take that course? Because I look now at where the world is headed and I keep looking back at that electrical engineering course that I could have taken for free, gotten hands on training by working professionals for free, and been able to wire practically anything for free. And now look at the plans of certain groups that run the planet. Are you guys beginning to understand? So the last and final thing, guys, get knowledge that your great grandparents had. I'm gonna say this. If it's candle making, okay, if it's building oil lamps, how to create an oil lamp, an oil chandelier, how to wire a building, plumbing, whatever it is. Guys, I leave you with this. Please, for the love of God, get skilled, whether it's sewing, farming, how to create water, okay? If you can't drill a well, do you know that there are three or four ways you could draw water out of the atmosphere using fog and condensation? Carry, you see? I look back with such regret that I did not take that course because if I didn't use it, I would have known the basics of wiring, electrical wiring. Ronald, how dare you? I'm going to answer you this. How dare you come on my channel and tell me what I should do when you are the one who is wrong? I was talking about a person who was taken from their house and sent to a psych ward where people are being murdered in hospitals. And you come here insulting either me or what the person has been through. And now you have the nerve to tell me what I should and shouldn't do on my channel. Problem solved. Problem solved. Problem solved. Someone, you see, this is the foolishness. And he does this every single time he comes on this channel. You can go back at all my videos, and he would come in and he would divert the comment section away from the topic and towards him every single time. Every single time. And today I was not here for it. I don't yell at people on my channel. I'm not stupid. I don't talk to people like that. Okay? I do not yell at people. I may be passionate about a topic, but I don't go off on my subscribers. But today I've had it. Okay? You don't do that. You do not belittle what someone is going through by claiming paranoia. Maybe they were a little bit paranoid. How dare you? And then don't, and I gave him the grace. I said, Ronald, what do you mean by that comment? Anyway, enough, enough. So let's continue. All right, guys. So, guys, learn about skills for the love of God. Not only that, try to get your body in shape. Really. If you cannot walk for a mile, you're in problems. Okay? If you cannot bike for a mile, you have problems. Running is another thing. But if you can't walk for a mile, you have problems. Okay? Make sure you can walk at least a mile. Because walking from point A to point B, 1 mile, might be the difference between eating and not eating, might be the difference between life and death. If you cannot walk, do you know how to bike? Okay? I mean, I know these things are simple, but guys, are you seeing what's going on? Are you seeing what's going on? Now we got 5 comments diverting away from what I was talking about to Ronald. He does that every single video, every single video. And today I had enough. Let's focus, guys. Let's focus. Do you know how to bike? Okay. Do you know how to ride a bike for a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles? If you don't, it's time for you to learn how to bike. I know it sounds foolish, but it's time for you to know how to bike. Is everyone following me? Or are you guys still thinking about Ronald and his foolishness? 3 more minutes and I'm done. All right. Do you know? Thank you, Chieftain. Do you know how to bike? Do you know how to run? Do you know how to swim? Okay. Do you know how to boat? Do you know how to fish? Do you know how to sew? You see, they got us on these phones, and I'm guilty too. I'm as guilty as everyone else. I'm not even lying. I'm as guilty as everyone else. Do you know how to grow food? Do you know how to generate water? Do you know how to get artificial light? Women, if the supply chain breaks down and you can't get feminine napkins, what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? Do you know how to sew? Okay. Do you guys know how to track the stars? I don't. Do you know how to use a compass? Do you know how to do land navigation? Okay. They got us on these phones thinking that everything we need is on these phones. But when you look at what they're doing, and all people are focused on, and this is why I'm trying to educate people, that it's not about your skin color, people. It really isn't. You got to find your tribe, and sometimes your tribe may not look like you. And life and death may be in the hands. Your life could be saved by someone who doesn't look like you. So don't limit. Carrie, well done. Okay? So don't limit what can preserve your life by skin color. Limit it to character. Okay? And when you're using these phones, use it to make sure you're using it to better your skills as well. Because they got us on these phones, but they got us looking at things that is not going to help us. Meanwhile, they're trying to break down everything around us. Okay? Carrie, that's what I need to learn too. Do you know how to operate a ham radio? Do you know how to do CPR? Okay? It's a lot of skills out there that if things break down, there's a lot of skills out there that if let's say you're going to a community, you know, and you're like, okay, and they're like, okay, what skills do you have? You can say, okay, I know how to read a map, I know how to forage for food, I know CPR, I know how to sew, I know how to fix, you know, shoes, whatever that can save your life. Guys, use these phones wisely. Okay, they got us staring at the phones and staring at the wrong damn thing. Okay, but these same phones on the right channels with the right knowledge, with the right information can help you. I'm telling you guys, things are rapidly changing in this country. Those of you who still have your freedoms left and your rights left and you're not targeted, you think that everything is fine and dandy. A lot of people are losing their rights, people. Okay, work on developing your skills. Yeah, Carrie. Well, you got a lot of skills already. A lot of skills. So you should be okay. You can go to Ham Prep. I think it's Ham Prep Radio, and you can pay $100 to become licensed. Okay, and I commend you, Carrie. You already have the majority of the skills. Some of those things, most of those things, I don't have, but I'm starting Ham Prep Radio. If you want to get your license to be a ham prep operator, okay, and being a ham prep operator, or knowing CPR can be the difference between you going from one state to the other. Think about what I'm telling you. If you have medical skills, okay, and let's say, there's martial law and you got medical skills, you might be able to travel from one state to the other. Just a thought. Just a thought. Okay. So, people, don't be focused on these people telling you, you know, skin this and skin this and skin. What are they teaching you to survive? Is everyone following what I'm telling you? Is everyone following what I'm telling you? I didn't say don't get involved in Bitcoin and crypto. I said do everything, but get skills. Do everything. Get your crypto, get your Bitcoin, which is crypto. Get whatever. Get your bag, get your money, but get skills. All right, guys. So, guys, I hope to see everyone on the 28th, 29th. It's $25 on the 28th, $25 on the 29th, 28th at 12 noon, 29th at 10 in the night. Guys, I'll probably be doing some more live streams, and I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful Saturday and really begin to work on developing your skills. Skills. Even if that skill is running, if it's hunting, whatever it is, if that skill is growing herbs, okay, do not stop. Just, I'm not going to tell you stop, but really pay attention to where you're getting your knowledge, okay? Pay attention to where you're getting the knowledge and what kind of knowledge they're giving you. If it's not skills based, remember, I was the one, okay? I was the one that told you guys before the 2020 hit. I was the one that warned you guys. I said, listen, something is coming, and what's going to save your life is if you can work from home. I even created a micro business course teaching you how to set up your office and all of that at home and have a micro business. And I warned something was coming. Then it hit. And you know what happened? The majority of people who kept their job knew how to work from home. You following? Now I'm telling you that there's a shift coming. And the shift is the survival that you're going to need are skills that you can do with your hands. I don't know how long we have, but the difference is what can you do with your hands? Okay? Don't say I didn't give you guys the heads up. And I don't think we have a much longer time. Okay? So guys, think about that. I've already said enough. See you next Thursday and next Friday. Talk later. Bye.